There are all kinds of strange artifacts after a tornado has gone through. Now, I caution viewers that kids have been found pounding straws and nails into telephone poles and pounding 2x4s into other structures to carry as artifacts of the tornado when they've actually created them. But the fact is, trees, for example, trees can be twisted by the wind but not blown down. And as they twist, just almost to the point of breaking, cracks open in the wood, and any debris in the air flies into that crack in the wood. Old vinyl records have flown into the crack of the tree, then the wind stops and the tree comes back up, and that vinyl record or that piece of straw or whatever is caught in the tree. So you see funny things after the storm. I've seen house damage where the roof apparently had just begun to lift off the house, and the pressure in the house blew insulation out between the roof and the wall. The roof comes back down when the wind stops, and there's insulation hanging out like a collar around the top of that house. So some strange views, but most of it can be explained naturally. A lot of our field work has shown that 3 or 4 people can be in a room when a tornado hits, and tragically one person is seriously injured or killed and the other 2 or 3 walk away unscathed. Or more commonly, 2 or 3 houses in a neighborhood, one house is totally flattened, the tornado hit all the houses, the other ones are still standing. People wonder, well, why was that house flattened and chosen for destruction perhaps, and the other 2 or 3 are okay yet? And it's really the structure of the tornado. The tornado is not just one big solid cloud the way the video seems to show it. The tornado really has a very complex wind structure inside, so it may be a 1/4 mile wide, but the wind speeds and the directions in there are very complex and almost chaotic. So we can see really strong damage in a very narrow swath and minimal damage elsewhere. Ted Fujita pioneered the concept of assessing the wind speed and the strength of the storm based on the damage he saw on the ground. He flew hundreds and hundreds of miles of tornado tracks in his years, and guidelines have been developed that way to estimate the wind speed based on the damage. I was part of a panel about 10 years ago that reassessed the Fujita scale because it came to be observed that it probably didn't take as much wind speed to do that kind of damage as the Fujita scale originally said. So at the end of this meetings of this panel, we had the Fujita scale wind speeds have been slightly adjusted to probably reflect better the damage versus wind speed connection. We teach a class called Natural Disasters here in the Geography department. It's very good enrollment, about 50 people per year. We cover all the natural disasters like earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunami. We also do the meteorological disasters like tornadoes and hurricanes, and we also do landslides and wildfires and so on. We look at these events from the physical viewpoint, that is, where do they occur, where are high-risk areas, what's the physical mechanism, what causes them, how frequently do they occur. But being in geography, we also look at the human component too. So we're very interested in how people prepare for, or react to, or survive these different natural disasters. I'm always incorporating my own research into the course. We've done field work after tornadoes, we've done field work with hurricanes. We've taken students out into the field. We've done wind tunnel work on storms. So I'm always incorporating our own research here from Kent State into the course, and students find that very relevant, I think, because they really connect when they can connect with the group doing the research. So they're taking this out into whatever discipline they're going into. It may be public health, it may be international business, it may be sociology, justice studies, psychology, education, certainly. I have many teachers, future teachers taking the course, and I'm thinking I might be touching dozens of more students as they go out into their classrooms in the future in Ohio or elsewhere. So I really like the feeling of conveying the research that we've done here and the research that others have done to the students, and knowing they're going to be using this in the future in their own careers.